Okay, my dear students, now let us talk about impure substances. So, generally speaking, substances are classified into two: pure and impure. Okay. By pure, let me make a point over here. By pure and impure, we don't mean clean and unclean over here in chemistry. Okay, pure and impure, although they mean clean and unclean in the English language, but when we use pure and impure terms for substances in chemistry and science generally speaking, we are talking about a different idea, okay, which I am going to explain you in this video. So pure substances, they include elements and compounds, and impure substances are mixtures. I explained you elements and compounds in details, and they are pure substances. What do I mean by pure substances over here is that pure substances are substances that cannot be split into simpler substances by a physical mean. You cannot split them. Pure substances, you cannot split them by any physical means. So you cannot split them simply. Okay, and elements cannot be split by any means. Forget about them. I'm talking about compounds. So they cannot be split into simple substances by any physical means. What do I mean by physical means? Means that bring physical change, that don't bring chemical change. Simple means like boiling, like distillation, like sieving, okay, like filtering, like evaporation. All of these changes are what? Physical changes, and they are physical means. So they can't split. If they can't physical means, if you apply physical means, and you cannot split substances into simpler substances, yani you cannot split a substance into its components, into its constituents by using physical means, then we say that substance is a pure substance, like compounds, elements. Now impure substances are substances which are made up of two different types of substances, yani they are also a combination, that's why the term mixture is written over here. Okay, now there is a confusion between these two terms, compounds and mixture, which I will be clarifying in this video. Be with me, inshallah. I will make you understand everything, inshallah. I will try my level best. So mixture are also combination of different substances, as you saw in compounds, but these substances can be separated. These yani components of a mixture can be separated by physical means. Physical means including distillation, sublimation, and all of these type of change, yani means, processes which bring a physical change in a substance. We can use physical means to separate the components of a mixture. Yani we can separate the components of mixture simply, whereas in compounds we can't separate them easily. We need chemical changes. Okay, let me explain you in more details. So let us take examples. Compound and a mixture, and let me explain you the difference. Taking an example of compound as NaCl. So NaCl is a compound. That is what? Sodium chloride. Na is made up of sodium. Na represent the sodium atom, Cl represent the chlorine atom, and collectively they are representing the sodium chloride molecule. That is, this is the common salt which we use in our daily life. Now let me take an example of mixture: salt water or salty water. Salty water, a glass of water. I have a glass of water, okay, and this glass of water contains a solution. In this solution is nothing but a combination of salt plus water. So I have taken 2 teaspoons of salt and a glass of water, and I have dissolved the salt in this glass of water to get this solution, salty water solution. Now this is this compound sodium chloride is a combination of sodium and chlorine, isn't it? You can see this is a combination of sodium chlorine, and this mixture is also a combination of salt and water. So what's the difference? Both of them are combinations. What's the difference between them? The difference is that sodium and chlorine atoms, they combine in a on a molecular level. They combine chemically. You can't simply take a stick and beat sodium and get out from here. You can't say to chlorine, get out from here. You can't boil them, you can't heat them easily, you can't crush them to separate sodium and chlorine. That is, you can't use simple physical means to separate these constituents. That's why it's a compound. Whereas in a mixture, the salt and water can be separated. How? If you boil the mixture at 100 degrees Celsius, water will start to evaporate. You can do this experiment as well. Water will start to evaporate, it will start to vaporize, and after a couple of minutes or half an hour or an hour later, you will see that no water is in the glass except from the traces of salt at the bottom of the glass. That means the salt and water can be separated by just boiling, by simply boiling it. Or you can just take a saucer plate, okay, small plate, and put this solution, some amount of solution, and after a couple of weeks, that is due to evaporation, what will happen? Slowly and gradually the water will evaporate, will vaporize, and you will just find the traces of salt at the bottom or the bottom surface of the saucer after a couple of days or a week. That means we can separate salt and water by physical means, by simple physical means. We can separate it. But in the case of sodium chloride, we can't boil, we can't heat, we can't crush. That is, we can't use simple physical means to separate these constituents. We need a chemical mean to separate them. So this is the difference between compound and mixture. The main difference is that we cannot separate compound by physical means. That's why it's a pure substance. Whereas in mixtures, we can separate the constituents of a mixture by simple physical means. We don't need chemical means at all here. The mixture are impure substances. Hope the concept is clear to you.